Hi guys, and welcome to Super Met. Sorry I've been offline. It's been a bit of a while since I've made a video, but I'm back. So I've got a few new videos coming out shortly. I've got one of a property that I've just done up, which is a little bit different. I've got another which is going to be coming out shortly in the car that I'm in today. So I am in a Tesla 85D. So this is the Model S, and it's quite a nice car. Feels a bit old-fashioned, but it's not exactly the same as my long-range Model 3 that I have, but it's a decent car. So it's a loan vehicle. I've got it for however many days because my car has a bit of an issue. It's pouring with rain, so you can actually you can hear the wipers going intermittently in the background. Let me turn those off. And we're gonna have a quick walk around, and you can see the vehicle, and we'll go from there. Okay, so on the inside of the car, as you can see, we have a display, which is amazing in the front. So that's something that I've missed. I haven't had a binnacle showing me my speed and other items since I sold the Audi RS3. So we're in the Tesla 85D. I'm sorry if that is actually flickering when you're looking at it. I think it might be because I'm filming this on my phone, and it's a little bit of a it's something that I wasn't planning on doing quite at the moment. But you can see it's big old screen still. This is actually the screen that you've probably read about. So this particular module effectively is a computer screen. And Elon Musk originally said, we're going to put the biggest screen into a car, and no other manufacturer has ever done it, and I'm getting the screen much cheaper. Now, what he actually did to source the screen and make it cheap was he bought computer screens. Now, the problem with these screens is you've got air vents around it, so it goes hot, it goes cold. You've got a lot of glass all around the car and up above, so this car goes up in temperature. So in some of the places like Arizona, where it goes very hot in the daytime, very cold in the morning, these screens have started to degrade. So over time, cars that are only a few years old, from what I can understand, actually have a small memory chip inside them, and that chip starts to degrade, and the screen basically turns off. Now this controls your heating, your seats, it controls most of the functions as in the other cars, your calendar, your telephone, your rear camera, everything is actually controlled by this particular item. So when it goes, it's a bit of an issue because your car isn't functioning properly. So many of these earlier cars were having to actually go out and have this module replaced, which enabled the screen to operate again. And I believe they were charging out at £2,000 or £3,000 to have this sort of renovated and making it work again. Well, in America, so many people have complained about it, and there's been a recall of, I believe, around 150,000 vehicles. So I don't know if this one has been done, but it's obviously this one works. So long may it continue working whilst I have ownership of this car. But it's quite nice. The interior trim, so you've got a bit of Alcantara up here, which we don't see obviously in the Model 3. This is a vinyl wrap up here, but it's quite nice. Steering wheel feels nice, a little bit shiny. I don't know the mileage of this car. It's done a few miles though, but it's in leather. Door cards, these are a bit dirty in fact, but door cards you can see are actually stitched in leather, which I think makes a bit of a difference. Let me move these masks out of the way. You can see that the seats just feel better quality rather than this sort of vegetable hide that they do. I mean, lack of door bins down here, I've immediately noticed. I wanted to put a bottle of water into the door, but I can't, so this car doesn't have it, whereas the Model 3 does. You've got obviously the sunroof opening mechanisms, which we don't have on the Model 3. Trunk and the front at the front, that's the same, and they've been obviously updated. You've got your lock button, which is quite nice here. This one's got suspension settings, so you can go high or low on the suspension because it's air suspension, which we don't have on the Model 3. Which is quite nice, and also you can get it to lower. So this is set at 100+ miles an hour, so obviously that breaks the speed limit in the UK, but obviously this was done by somebody else that was like to go very, very quickly. Lighting's the same, the driving stuff seems to be the same, except it doesn't have a setting whereby you've got creep, but then it doesn't have the hill hold, which I really like on the Model 3. I had that on my Audi as well and on the Porsche. So when I came to a stop, a little hold sign in brackets, an H comes up on the dashboard, and then that holds the car until you accelerate, and then the car moves off. This doesn't appear to have that. So I think this is a slightly older car. I need to check the registration. This has obviously got Summon built into it, which I haven't tried, so I don't think I can because it's not connected to my phone. walk away. So when you walk away, it's connected to your phone, it locks itself. But in this case, I don't have that, so I have been given a rather nice little key, which I'd never seen before. So okay, so we can see the reg on it. So this isn't 2016 vehicle, and you just double click it and it turns the car off, and double click it and it starts the car and also locks the doors, puts the windows up, that kind of thing. But quite nice to have this. This is something that I'd been looking at for my Model 3, but I don't know if I need it really. I've got it on the key fob, and also I've got it on the phone as well. Display, you can just change the different settings. That looks exactly the same. Trips here, so you can see the different distances. Now this had a full charge and it came up with 200 miles. You can see it's now on 180, so I've done about 20 miles. So actually it doesn't appear to have lost very much. It seems to be about right. And you can see here the watt hour per mile is up on the gauge over here, but I haven't played around with it at all. Navigation changes and settings in here. The security here, obviously I haven't got anything, I haven't got my phone connected, so it's not working. And then the service notifications, and then the software updates. So this one has been updated recently. And you can see a picture of the car there. So this is the Model S 85D, and it's done 70,000 miles nearly. So it does actually feel like it's done 70,000. The steering wheel is a bit shiny. It's a bit grubby in places down here. Got some trim here. Doesn't bode well. I don't know what that is. And a piece of luxury carpet there. It's a sort of rubberized backed carpet with a clip. I don't know what that is from either. But in the back, it looks quite nice. Bigger than the Model 3. I do like seeing the leather in here, and I like the sunroof. Sunroof is basically very similar to the Model 3, except this one opens and closes. So I'm not going to do it because, as you can see, it's covered in water. So should we have a quick look around outside and see what it looks like out here? So it's in this rather nice grey colour. I do like the door handles, how they pull out automatically. I do believe these can freeze up and be a bit of an issue, but they're actually, I think they're metal. They feel very nice, very cold to the touch. It's got those nice grey wheels on it. So this is a 2016 car, so you can see the 85D Model S. Should we have a look in the trunk, see what's in here? Oh, electric boot lid. Again, we don't have that in the other one. Oh, so this has got the rear seats. That's quite nice. Deep footwell as well. And a good bit of storage around the edges. I do like it being so deep. This is a hire car. Look how dirty it is. I'm a bit surprised it's so dirty. But quite useful, those seats. I don't think I'd want to go in the back there. Maybe we try that a bit later. And then to close it, you just press this button here. Car drives very well. Easy to drive, air suspension is comfortable. Love having a sunroof. It's really rather nice. And this is the older car. Just lots of traffic on the road, but it's got some power behind it. You put your foot down and you can really feel those two motors dragging you forward. It's very strong. I mean, if I slow it down now to say 20 miles an hour, and then I accelerate. 35, I mean it's actually breaking the speed limit, so I need to slow it back. It's very rapid. Hopefully you guys can see that that speedo, but it's a brilliant machine. And this is 4 years old, over 60,000 miles, and it feels strong. I mean, I'm not hearing a lot of rattles. I've got less wing noise than in the Model 3 for sure. So it has its benefits. It feels more solid, it just feels much more sturdy and kind of simpler, if I'm honest. The new one is going to be different. So the new Model 3 is about to come out shortly. Now they're going to do different versions of it. So they've got the cheapest version, which I think is about $78,000. I don't know in pounds yet. Then they've got the middle version, which is called the Plaid, and that is $114,000. And then they've got the Plaid Plus, and I believe, I might be wrong, I think it's $132,000 or $134,000. Now the difference is the first one has a range of about around, I think, 410 miles. The following one, the Plaid, has a mileage about 20 miles less than that. And then the largest one has a mileage of 520 miles. That's the Plaid Plus. All I can think is they're going to be using a new form of battery. They don't appear to have enlarged the cells, but they don't tell you. But I think this could be a new form of battery. So this is some new technology that's been brought out. But there's a few things I like about it. The interior's had a refresh, it looks great. The screen is now flipped round the other way, it's along here. It looks very much like this car inside, except the binnacle has shrunk down, it's much smaller, and the steering wheel is now a yoke. It feels like you're flying a Beach Bonanza single aircraft, or a Cessna or a Mooney or something along those lines. I'm a keen aviator, and it looks just like the control system you would find in aviation, in an aircraft. And that's great, but I do think it maybe is a little misplaced on the road for just doing simple things like turning. I mean, we're all very used to turning a steering wheel. You know, a steering wheel is round. If it hasn't got the top half on it, it makes it a little bit harder, I would think, in daily use. The buttons on the steering wheel also are slightly different. They look like they're touch buttons. Now I'm hoping they're not. I'm hoping they are actually push buttons, like on a conventional vehicle. They've still got a scroll wheel, which I believe you can click a bit like a mouse. But if they are touch, I think it could be, well, I think it could be very difficult. Now the other thing is, there's no control stalks here. Like you've got stalks here. Some cars have paddles in a combustion engine. You don't have any of that. Now when I look further, because I thought this was, you know, a little odd, what are they going to possibly do for it? Apparently the car decides for you if you want to go forward or you want to go backward. It decides which selection you would like. If you want neutral, park, drive, reverse. I think that's madness, I have to say. I think it's, I am a little bit shocked by it. I think it sounds dangerous. Tesla likes to push the technology, which I think is great. But from what I've seen, and having owned a Model 3, sometimes the technology goes a little bit bonkers. Now my car has actually gone in at the moment because of a simple software glitch, and it's not a massive issue. But my rear reversing camera doesn't work when I start the car and I engage it into reverse. I can't always get the rear reversing and side camera views for about 40-45 seconds. Now it's been an issue since the last two updates. I thought it was going to get cured, but it didn't, so it's now gone into Tesla today, hence why I have this 2016 Model S. The main issue with it for me is, if they put all this new technology into their new Model S, and this thing is now, I don't know, is it thinking for itself? Is it AI they're using? It's got to be a form of AI, because it must obviously be looking with radar. I don't know if they're using laser systems and cameras. If it's going to move forward, or if it's going to go in reverse, or if you want to park your vehicle, maybe it knows the pavements next to you. But even so, it isn't a human being, and I'm thinking, What if something happened and it was confused? You had a dog run out on one side of you, you had a cat on the other side, you had a child on a bicycle behind you, and a little old lady in front of you, and the car thinks that you want to do something when in fact you don't. Then, you know, maybe you don't know it's gone into gear. I don't know how they're going to show that. You push the throttle, or maybe you push the brake, and it causes an issue. Who is going to be the person that is held accountable? I'm hoping there's going to be a change, and that the actual information that has been put out so far is nothing more than a press release and bump to get people excited, because Tesla are good at that. I'm hoping they make a change and they do put a physical button or something to allow you to engage drive and to do certain things with it, but we will see. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video on the Tesla 85D Model S. Obviously this is a slightly older vehicle, but I thought, well, why not? It's locked down, it's London, and it's wet. So stay safe, please wear your masks, sanitize, drive carefully, and don't go too far in your cars at the moment, because the police are out to get people that are doing long journeys. But subscribe to the channel, please click like if you like this, and stay tuned. There's more on the way.